Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm having the bench right now, complete setup pretty much for Ford Mustang 2006 4.0. This is Rocky Lennon from Louisiana. He sent me this computer in the cluster in order to try to see if I can reproduce his concerns, which this is actually the seventh time that I have run the computer for over 2 hours and I cannot reproduce your concerns. I have applied heat, vibrations, everything, and I cannot reproduce it. And I'm going to read his notes and everything like I normally do. The reason of the test or the video is to actually show them because this computer has been here for almost a couple of weeks. And I cannot, work every single day in the computer. And I hope you understand that. But I've been trying as much as I can because even though I have most of the setup done, it's always remove what I have been working on to get these connected, and it's time consuming as well. But yeah, so let me take you over to the screen. So this is the computer running. Like I said, it's been running for I think right now since like 10, so it's almost 1. So actually 10, 11, 12, 1, so almost 3 hours. And it has not failed one time. And I have, trying to reproduce his concern. His concern is, he said, the car dies on him. He sent this cluster to repair to somebody else, a big company. That's all I get from his notes. And I am now the one trying to help him out after somebody else did the repair. But I try always to help as much as I can. All right, so let me get you on the screen first to see the big note that he sent me. It is, you can read it if you want. I'm going to make it a little bigger, too much, right? Yeah, so you can read the entire thing. I'm going to make a story short. So he's definitely a YouTuber or likes to watch videos on YouTube, and he's trying to find a solution. He said he found a video of me and Ivan working on Alexa. This is, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, when we were on Super Saturday. And he's been trying to see if somebody help him. So he sent this cluster just to tell you a story. So the cluster was sent because I think, let me just read in there. Let me just read that part. I recently had the instrument cluster. Well, let me start. I have owned a 2006 Mustang V6 for about 15 years, and it was both of my daughter's first car and got a lot of use. By then, I never let either of them down that Daddy wasn't able to fix until now. I recently had the instrument cluster overhauled by a reputable big company due to the coolant gauge pegging. Okay, so due to coolant gauge pegging out, and my scanner was showing live data and the temperature was fine. After receiving it back, I installed it on, and the first key on, it was completely dead. Thinking it was my fault, I removed it, unplug it, and reinstall, and then plug it, and it now worked like normal. I started the car and went for a short errand. On that drive, the car quit just as if I shut the key off with the key, or shut it off with the key for 3 times. So now you can read the entire thing. He's been repairing grounds and powers and diodes and relay, trying to correct this. He said that this never happened before. I said, I will have to agree with that company because the cluster has absolutely nothing to do with the car running. The computer on this vehicle has a PATS, the passive anti-theft system, built into the computer. So the only thing the cluster does is just shows warning lamps and stuff like that. The RPMs, it's a message center, that's it. But it's not really a key player in order for the car to keep running. He said that it's like, if you read in there, that one time when the car didn't want to start, it was only dashes. And I said, yeah, well, if you lose communication, the computer cannot read the mileage from the cluster. It will not be able to read the mileage from anything else, and then it will show dashes. And that's a good hint that it might be that, something lost the communication. But if you have a no start condition, then, without focus, because he said he has, and he has not photos of like a U1900 and all the photos you see in there, I went and checked, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the computer. It's just a about the SRS module in order that, yeah, it is hard to understand what's going on because all I have is the computer. So his wife recommended him by, or asked him to please send me the cluster and the computer to check. Then I said, yes, I can double check and try to help you, but I might not be able to reproduce it here because if you read down on the notes, after he cleaned the battery and connections, he has run the car multiple times and it hasn't happened again. So I'm like, wow, when I read that, I'm like, wow, that's going to be, and he already sent the cluster and everything here. So I'm like, well, that's going to be very hard to reproduce. Why? Because if it's not happening, he said that he drove the car for, I think in one of the notes in there, it says for over 5 hours or 4 hours or have it running. And it didn't happen. And then again for other 2 hours and it didn't happen. So yes, that's exactly what I'm experiencing in here. Is it the computer? Is it the cluster? Something is shorting out, maybe the communication. But even if the computer loses communication with the cluster or the other components, it might not shut it down. So it's hard to say. Based on those fault codes, it's nothing I can get. Just show you the rest. This is me taking pictures of, the setup when it comes here. He sent the key and everything. I said, I need the key in order to run it. And as you can see right now, it's running. I'm going to show you in a second. So this is just the notes on that part because he already sent me that information. Let me go over to the folder. In here, I got the folds. Where are they? Yeah, right here. Like, B1869 is an SRS fault code. So it says lamp airbag warning indicator circuit open or short. So nothing to do with his concern. And I went over to each of the faults. The other one is 1892. It's an SRS code. And the other one was a P1464 AC demand during self-test, which is a little weird. And I wanted you to show you the diagrams because I'm trying to help them as much as I can. The way that I have this connected, this is powers and ground for the cluster that I need. Powers in the communication for the cluster. And I'm going to get in here, an ignition in pin 13, and constant battery in pin 3, an ignition in pin 26. And then for communication, the high-speed CAN on pin 17 and 18, which is CAN high, CAN low. The next one is just to show the ground, which is, I don't know why they put them in a separate diagram, but it's okay. It's pin 2. The cluster has only one connector. The rest is just messages and message center, nothing that we care about it. In here, this is just to show that this is a V6 engine, and it's obviously only 6 injectors, and it uses a coil pack. So this is a coil pack of C output. So 6 outputs is 3 coils into 1, right? And you can see that in here. And that's what I show you, or I got this diagram as well in here. As far as the AC clutch, this computer commands the clutch of the relay from connector C175E, which is a 70-pin connector, and on pin 3 that commands the ground side of the relay for the AC clutch. One thing that I really want to address, and this is very important because if we see all this in here, the smart junction box is a key player, it's a big key player, and it's also a very common problem on these vehicles, Rocky. So if you keep having problems, because I cannot, like I said, reproduce this, I will recommend you to take that junction box out, either get another one or send it to me and I can repair it. But again, I will just, because this will be very hard to reproduce your concerns for 4 hours or days of running a car. Because what I want to show you here is, so this is the main power relay for the computer. And it has a constant ground on the control side, and then a hot and run or start power coming from the smart junction box. So this is right here. So this will send power to that relay, will energize it, and that will send power through the relay over to the computer, which I don't know why they put terminal 30 on the other side, which is a little weird. But you can go and see that it powers up. It's like I think it's an error on the diagram, because it's kind of like, they're putting terminal 87 going onto the hot all the times, and then terminal 30 to supply the power on the bottom, which that is completely opposite. But it's okay. That I don't really care about that. But that supplies power to the computer as well. So that could be a potential problem, that you have even a bad fuse fitment in here in fuse 19, or you add a smart junction box. So that is, again, unknown for me, because I don't have the entire vehicle and I cannot reproduce those in here. So if you send the smart junction box, all I can do is repair it, because those are impossible to load everything, because that is a fuse box. So I will attack a concern. But since you cannot even, or you don't even know if it for sure, this is just an assumption. But if you then in the car put, an oscilloscope in here and drive the car, and you see that this power goes away, then at least you can understand that this power is coming directly from the smart junction box. And that's how you diagnose things like that. Replacing components, you can be replacing the entire vehicle and never find it. I always recommend to use an oscilloscope. There is oscilloscope very inexpensive, like the Frenercy in Amazon. It's a 2-channel oscilloscope. It's less than $100, and you can run the wires from the inside, or because a smart junction box is under the dashboard, so you can put it there, or you can go over to the bus electrical center, the VEC, and then find the power right there. Or go over to, I would really, recommend to go directly over to connector C2280H onto pin 12, because that's where you want to go. Because if you go farther down the line, you will have a relay, you will have other things that is not really what you're looking for. So you want to first eliminate the smart junction box. If you go here to the pin 12, I'm sorry guys, I'm talking and I'm not showing you the diagram. If you go here to the pin 12 on the smart junction box and you drive the car and it stalls on you and that power goes away, which it shouldn't, you have only two other things to check. The ignition switch, obviously, because this is hot in a start and run. That power is coming from the ignition switch through the smart junction box. So you need to then do another test again and reproduce. And this is going to be time consuming, like I'm actually doing in here. But that is just a recommendation. So as you will see now, let me put everything in the screen, because I have the full probe, I have the meter, I got everything. You can see injections and everything. You can see the RPMs on the instrument cluster. And everything is a steady. I have washed that pit and put them in graph onto the scanner for the battery voltage to see if it drops at any moment. And it's like a straight line. It never changed. Same thing on the 5-volt reference. Nothing changed. I can show you here, because in this capture you can see my load boxes, because since this is a different setup for the coils, the only thing you can see on the full probe is the injectors. But on my load box, I can see right here, the blue line that I'm covering right now, that is a coil. And there is 2 more coils on the bottom one, and then 6 injectors in total, 4 on the bottom and 2 on the upper load box. Those are the injectors, and that one is the coil right there where I'm putting my fingers on. You can see it flickering. But yeah, nothing has actually failed. And all the communications are good. I have not seen the cluster loose or loss or anything happen. And like I said, I apply heat. I put them into the hot plate. I run it with higher temperature. Obviously control, because I got my thermistors, and nothing happened. I never lost the mileage on this. Again, guys, I'm sorry, but this is a video that I'm trying to help a customer at least to remove these components from his idea. I don't see any problems, Rocky, whatsoever in here. I'm going to pack everything back and send it to you. I'm going to obviously collect payment for my tests. And when I do a test, I charge per components in here. So this will be a test for cluster and a test for the computer. Hope you understand that. And realistically, I have spent too much time on this that is never going to come back into me. And I feel a little down sometimes, when a person sends something to somebody else, and then I'm the one trying to help them. But I'm a good person, and I'm going to say it because I hope that I would have been your first approach and repairs, not just try to help me. Because please take me in consideration for the next time. And I know that you have sent in this time, but yeah, it's I always said if you stick with one company and you trust it's a big company, very reputable, they should have take your computer and do this test 100% for you. But not many companies do this. They will not. Oh no. If you want, you can send a computer and we'll repair it for you. But we're not going to perform tests and try to see if it's a problem. So they will get you for a computer repair, and it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 1,000. And then if that corrects the problems or not, it's not their problem. It's your problem. So yeah, that's a big difference, and it's a big difference on my services. Even though he was not a customer until today, I am trying always to help. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you're here in the channel, don't forget to subscribe. That will be a way for you to help me. Every time you subscribe, YouTube promotes more and more my videos, and that's how you find me. So thank you so much if you do so. And if you have a computer, instrument cluster, Marino Automotive, please don't hesitate. I'm going to put the my website on the title of this video so you can copy and paste it in there. In my website, you'll find all the information, my telephone, emails, and everything in there, right in the first website and the first page where you land. Send me an email, call me, and I will be looking forward to help you. All right, guys, thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.